Good morning, everyone. Wow, this is such a pleasure to be here with my gorgeous friend and fellow goddess, Maria Adriana Contreras. And I think her lovely husband is in the background. Is
He's in
that
the
Simon?
background having tea.
Gorgeous Simon having tea. Hi, Simon.
Just
Oh,
doing his morning thing.
morning, Maria. Lovely to see you.
Good morning, Goddess Jo.
Oh, so this is just going to be a very quick live call, which already Maria has a beautiful ability to get to the nub of what's going on for you. Yeah, she's like a bloodhound.
I love that.
So,
I thought I'm more of an annoying yappy terrier, but bloodhound is more of a compliment. Thank you.
I think we can all be a yappy terrier sometime. I definitely would like to call you more of a bloodhound.
Thank you.
So I really wanted us to do a quick live call this morning because we've announced and published tickets for this amazing goddess event. And as Maria has just beautifully pointed out, as she does in her soulful mentoring work, that we are in a space at a time of quite a lot going on, a lot of change, a lot of overwhelm. And this is in part the reason for the Goddess Summit, because, and I'm a bit of a living example, but there's so many women that are aspiring but very busy doing, less being and more acting. So I think this is one of the beautiful reasons for this summit that we're having on International Women's Day, of course. And it will be a 2-hour event. We have some beautiful hosts and speakers. It's a global event, so we have a host in Australia. We have a guest in Hawaii. So we're really covering amazing spiritual places where these women from around the world want to share their message. I also want to honour and give space to the Women Leading Forum, which is hosting a leading event coming up in the end of March. So all of that will be posted alongside. But this summit is very much about the goddess and Maria's work. So I've called Maria's work the Goddess Hotline.
Brilliant. Love that.
she has an ability to tune in and allow you to connect with your real goddess, and on a very amazing level. And I'm very grateful for Maria coming this morning because I know she's not been feeling 100%. So blessings to you for coming. Hopefully Teresa will screech in from Australia as well because she was due to be here. So hopefully she will come too. But if not, Maria, lovely to see you. Tell us about the goddess. I think the goddess means so many different things for so many people, doesn't it? But tell us about your goddess.
Whoa, what a gorgeous question. What a gorgeous question. Like for me, the goddess feels like an energy field. Like it's not even a woman with boobs and womb and all that woman stuff that I don't actually connect to personally. But it feels to me like an energy field of unconditional love. And it feels like a whirly, hugging energy for me. It feels like the cuddler that I've got behind. You can't really see it very well, but it's like a sofa that's like a hug. And that goddess energy is the place where all is well. Despite anything else that's going on, I feel that it's a feminine presence, it's a loving, motherly presence, but the word mother is quite triggering for many people. It is for me. And where I have past associations that have not been so loving. But this energy feels like Mother Universe who loves you totally and says to you and to me, her children, you will always be my baby. And I love you. You will always be my baby. And I love you. and she just holds everything. She holds it down. And she can be described as Mother Earth, La Pachamama, Mother Earth, Mother, that so many native cultures speak about, mine included, from South America. I just think it's a bigger thing. Like in an Eastern tradition, God is described as female, as Mother, Ma. But without getting into the favourite triggering words, God, love, sex, money, woman, these triggering words, they're so triggering. But just this energy of I love you, all is well, I see you, you don't need to do anything to prove your worth to me because you are so loved. And you are magnificence just as you are. And it's that space of remembering that. Remembering that I don't have to jump, dance, speak, do, not do, prove myself. And the proving myself is a paradigm of the world. It's a worldly paradigm. It's a patriarchal paradigm. But this is matriarchal. It's mother, and we're just all the little chicks in the little nest. And that's how I experience it.
I love it. I love it. And it's so timely. This message came in for it to be the Goddess Summit to me, which when I approached you. But so many of my friends and female friends are talking about overwhelm.
Okay.
I haven't seen any male posts talking about overwhelm. I know men are less likely to share. We know that. There's a whole book being written about that.
There's a whole body of work about that.
Yeah, but there are so many women, and I don't like to say especially mums. That's not the case, but I know a lot of mums that are also very overwhelmed because they have got their kids at home.
Yes.
And no matter what your kid's age, that it's still a tough job to manage, monitor them. They're with you 24/7 and do your work and look after your home. So we're not doing much goddess stuff, are we? Sadly. Oh, look, here she is talking of the goddess from Australia. I'm just going to bring her in because she's just screeched in.
Oh,
She's
amazing.
Rubber
amazing.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening to you, Teresa. Hello, good evening.
It is your good morning and it is our
good morning, good evening to Australia. Amazing. Good to see you.
Well, it's so lovely to be here. What an impromptu event.
Oh, well, it felt right to honour what we're having, and actually we've already, Maria has beautifully already tuned in, as she does in her magical way, about how overwhelmed we are, and me slightly included right now, to what is happening, what we're dealing with, and also what we're juggling. So I know, Teresa, you obviously are juggling a lot, but thank you for coming on. Teresa is one of the hosts of the Goddess Summit, which will be on International Women's Day at 9:30 GMT. It's a 2-hour event and tickets are available at Eventbrite. So if you'd like to scoot on over there and buy your tickets, we'd love to see you. Teresa is one of the co-hosts of The Thread, a beautiful podcast all about well-being, harmony, love, energy, nature. I mean, a long list of positive and beautiful stories that you share. So thanks for coming along, Teresa. Great to see you.
Oh, thank you, Jo. Thank you for having me on board. And what an exciting event we've got coming up. I loved chatting to you about this and how amazing that we could bring together such a wonderful group of women internationally that can speak to the hearts of so many women, and particularly on so many issues, and really honouring that goddess within and understanding that the goddess within isn't just about being a princess being fed grapes. We can all enjoy that and desire that, but there is so much more. The goddess within is really honouring our femininity. It's honouring our power. It's honouring our path. And that's what I love about this summit, is that it really brings in together so many wonderful women that get to speak to all of that and so much more. So I'm excited to be doing this with Jo and obviously my co-host Kat. We're very excited that we can participate in this event and just share and come to the understanding that we're all one. We all feel and go through similar experiences, and regardless of where we are in the world, you know, we all feel and can connect to that oneness and that unity.
Yeah, that's a beautiful message, and I think it feels like there's, again, we're coming back to this, overwhelmed so much frenetic as energy, as Maria put earlier, but actually it's so important that we look after ourselves and we nurture and are still and present, and otherwise we just fragment ourselves, don't we? And that's Maria explained what goddess meant to her earlier. Teresa, what would you explain to viewers and listeners? What would you say is the goddess for you? What is your goddess?
For me is my inner spirit. It's really connecting to my inner spirit, my inner soul, and understanding that there are so many shades to my goddess. You know, there are days where she's energetic and I want to honor that and honor the creativeness and the ideas that are coming through. There are days where she just goes into solace and all she needs is space to be outdoors, away from everyone. And there are days where she purges, where she's just letting go of the weight of the world. And there are moments where she's feeling saucy and amazing and wants to take on the world. So the goddess for me is the all-encompassing one. It's our divinity, it's our spark, and it's honoring our spark.
Yeah. Love it.
And I love what you said about self-care, Jo. It's so crucial. And I think it's also knowing that we don't have to feel guilty when we need to take time out. There's no need. There used to be a lot of shame and guilt that went on for women needing to feel strong all the time. And I think that there is more understanding when we own every bit of ourselves, and that is that strong, encompassing one. It's the one that needs that quiet time. It's just honoring all aspects and not feeling guilty or shameful for it. It's just like, yeah, this is who I am. I own it. And today I feel great and I feel amazing. And tomorrow is another day and I'll feel what it is. It's riding the wave of the energy of the goddess.
Well, and that's something you're good at, living on the coast of Australia.
Absolutely. I love the water. So I'm riding the waves. And I'm learning lots through it.
Yeah, a lovely analogy, because it is like that with life, isn't it? It's, it's a continuous flow, but there are ups and downs. I'm in a beautiful group with Laurel Rond, who's one of our speakers, actually. She's going to do a stunning sound gong meditation to get the event going. And we were talking this morning, and she did this beautiful share this morning, all about honoring ourselves and all our complexities. And I think as Maria mentioned earlier, it's very easy to sort of see only wanting to see ourselves in a certain light and not valuing all that we are, and actually allowing ourselves to be completely imperfect, like perfectly imperfect, and not trying to fulfill that tick box. So which is one thing I'm really good at, is just trying to think, I've got to tick all the boxes and do everything, as it should. So yeah.
And I think history has shown us that that's how we needed to behave for a period of time. But I think what's happening now is that we realise that there are times where we do need to go within and just, it's in the calmness and in the quietness that often we hear our next step. And there is more value now that's added to being able to find that space within us and going within to really honour that and honour the understanding that comes from contemplation and the understanding that comes from reflecting on our paths, however many highs or lows that we've had. And then into sharing, there's a real, and I think I may have shared with you, I had a visual the other day when I was out in the forest, and there's a real beauty about sharing when women come together. And the sharing comes from supporting one another and encouraging one another. It's not in competition, and it doesn't come from ego, but it comes from that beautiful sisterhood. And as we move into this next stage and this new awakening, I think that's what we start to see, is this sisterhood that comes together, that looks out for one another and helps carry those bags or that baggage until the next phase. And then, we unload and someone else carries it for you, and then we carry our own. It's all about supporting one another through the eyes of love.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful point to make, is that, it's so, I am talking a lot of experience this morning, but I'm someone who very much feels like I've got to just carry on by myself, and I've got too independent in a way. I've got used to being independent, and not very good at reaching out and saying, actually, hold on a minute, I'm struggling, or can you help me with this, or can you help me with that? And I think, like you say, that a lot of women have gone down that path. I've known a lot of friends who've gone down that path, but it doesn't serve our inner goddess, does it?
No,
it doesn't feel good, because then we start, our energies all flip out with, so there's so much to that. Maria, you mentioned something earlier about really being ourselves and connected with, what did you say? A beautiful point about within the comfort of your goddess. And I thought that's beautiful, because that maybe a lot of women don't think of it as that actually she's there to comfort you. She's there to
the mother.
Yeah.
So I was just saying that if I was to put words to it, the experience that I have of goddess is more like a mother universe, earth mother, universe mother energy that just holds me and us, all that is, and it's a space where all really is well, all is well. And it's a space outside of movement and time dimension. And it's just a space of true comfort. And so something I'm really good at is falling apart. I allow myself to fall apart. For the last week or two, I've been a complete mess, like a snotty, messy, mucky mess, in bed, feeling really not good. But I'm so good at that, because I can be that goddess mother to myself. And I can just let her fall apart, and I can postpone things, and I can ask for help. But for me, like you were saying, Teresa, that I think is really, really important. I was in communication with some really lovely soul sister friends this weekend, and we were all generally saying, I just feel like really not good. I feel like everything hurts. It feels like I feel like I've got PMT, but all the time, like it doesn't ever go away. And that's okay. That's just what the body's going through. So as a loving mother energy, all I'm here to do is hold her and say, it's okay, you can rest. Can I get you anything? Do you want a teddy bear? Do you want me to brush your hair? Just, that's part of it. I'm really good at it, because I've been falling apart all my life. So I'm really boss. I can really boss it. I'm really good at breaking down. It's not a problem for me. It's just an everyday. It's a very normal occurrence. And I think that this is something that has to be normalized. I suggest that it's okay to feel really, really shit, and for everything to hurt. It's okay.
And how about if I was to challenge you that is that actually called mess?
I love
what
that.
Makes us
I love
think
that.
Like this? Because
that's beautiful.
We here in Australia have been feeling the same. Many of us have felt the same. I've been sharing. I don't want to overshare on this live, but I had to take some time out just to sit in meditation and just release. And I challenge us in saying, let's reword that. What about if that's not mess? What about if that's just emptying our vessel of a collection, and so that we can start again?
Love that.
So that we feel that we become vibrant and replenished one more time.
Beautiful.
because I think
challenge accepted. Gorgeous.
yeah. So
I
Maria,
love a challenge.
new words for that, because I think that's honoring. Like, what you're showing me is, hey, you've just taken time to honor you, the goddess within you. Who says you have to be doing anything different? And if we think about the moon and we think about the cycles of the moon and the goddess that she is and her cycles, and we honor that and we look at that and we honor, we go out and we see her at half cycle, we see her in the waning moon, we see her in the waxing, we see her in her full glory, and we honor that. Why don't we honor ourselves when we are moving through those phases rather than judge ourselves?
I love that. I love honoring that in myself.
That is beautiful.
I think it's wonderful.
I just think it's important. I think we as women, and I think our role now is to change that narrative. We change it, and it can only start when we truly understand ourselves and honor ourselves first, that we get to change that narrative.
Beautiful.
So even Jo, when you mentioned that, you know, often when we feel like I can't remember the word you used, but we're breaking down, so we don't often ask people for support. What about if now that when we do, we're actually allowing ourselves to elevate to our next level? Because we can't do everything and we can't be everything to everyone. But when we call on support, it means that then that support helps to elevate us so that we are also becoming in alignment with our light.
Love it. Yeah.
I think we as women need to change our narrative.
Because it is so important what we tell ourselves, isn't it? It is so important. And the words we use. I know, Maria, you're doing work on conscious dialogue, aren't you, at the moment?
Oh, I love conscious language.
It's just, and it's so key. We've kind of sort of almost abandoned the whole point of words in a way. Spelling is something we do all the time. With every single word we say, we're spelling, and so it is really important, isn't it? And it's so easy to forget. But yeah, and so it's actually it's just allowing what is it? It's not having a mess then. What is it? What can we say? Let's put it out there. It's just being momentary.
Let's ask our viewers. What do our viewers want to call it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let them tell us what they call it. It's an honoring of our stage, and
I'd say decluttering.
Jo, you are definitely the wordsmith. I'm sure you do have a word for us.
My little
self-admin.
Yeah.
What was that, Maria?
I think sorry, go on.
Decluttering, I think when I go through that reorganization, decluttering, self-spirit admin, the first thing I do is say no to everyone and say, can I reschedule? Just creating space. I did a beautiful shamanic training 20 years ago, and the premise of that was creating space. And I think that's a really, so emptying out and creating space, like do something when the space is available to do that. I know that's a bit woomy, but it's a really good analogy. Like the space has to be available for what it is going to be contained. So I think I'm using the word mess because I just think it's funny to just use labels, but in a very conscious comedy kind of way.
Yeah.
But absolutely, emptying out new words, and it's good to just talk about that and to normalize that. Definitely.
Well, I think it's a step to self-love, isn't it? Like we as women are so nurturing to other people. It's part of our innate of who we are, and we give so much to others. So when we give back to ourselves, that's when we actually start to think that it's wrong, or that it's the mess, or that, you know, we've got PMS. We start to create words to say that it's okay to take care of us. But it's nurturing home. It's spring cleaning. It's spring cleaning our bodies and our soul, our mind. It's just giving us that space to create the sacred again.
Gorgeous. And in olden times, in medieval times, I think it was, the time of menses with women was honoured as the time where all of the village would go to ask the women at that time for counsel. So they would hold counsel, and they would counsel with the women who were menstruating. Because why? Because they knew they'd get the truth.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. So that, not only am I clearing out, decluttering and sorting what's the wheat from the chaff, but it's just razor sharp eyesight and tongue time of just, it's just that knife edge of this is a yes, this is a no. And I think that's really, really powerful. It's not that I'm being a bitch or moody. It's like, it's do or die time. This is where it's at. And that's brilliant. That's amazing discernment. I love that.
That's
a great way to look at that time, isn't it, of our month? Because so many of us go through that.
Yeah.
It's just naked truth time then, isn't it?
Totally.
Naked truth time.
Totally, because spirit is talking.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm going to come up with a phrase for when we're having our messy time.
Yeah, go on then.
I'm going to come up with a phrase by the summit, and I will let's make that something that we can embrace. There's I'll get my word, my little inner thesaurus going. But
how about we make the big reveal on the summit?
Big reveal.
Word.
It has to be something really positive, because
definitely
it's got this such negative connotation.
Yeah, I agree. I think the word wobble isn't respectful either. It just suggests, I'm only okay if I'm really straight and sturdy. But if I've had a wobble, I've lost my balance, I'm weak. No, it's good. It means I'm seeing everything really clearly. It's good to have a wobble. So bigger eyesight, more focus.
And I'm feeling I rise. Like I just
yes, queen.
Right? Like, because
love that.
The rest period. Like you rest and then you rise. And when you rise, there's clarity. There's
love it.
To really be able to move forward and make clear decisions and clear movements. Sometimes we just need to shift, and we shift that out and we rise. So I think there's definitely, and maybe we can share on that on the summit as well. But there's definitely some powerful things around, I rise, and what that truly
I love that. I just love it. Yeah.
So one of my mottos for the event was going to be "She is risen."
Wow. That's insane. That's amazing.
I mean, it's what you say. It's like obs, duh. She is risen.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. I love that. And a piece of music I was going to do for the meditation is called Rise by my friend. The piece is called Rise.
Beautiful.
Oh, how beautiful.
I was going to do the meditation over.
Wow. That's awesome.
Wow, that's incredible.
Let's get that on our Goddess Summit. Let's
do this.
Let's bring in this. And thank you so much for coming on this morning. Teresa, thank you for coming to us from Melbourne, Australia.
So
good
wonderful.
Evening to you, Down Under.
I'm looking forward to having you two down here when we open. Obviously,
that would be so cool. We're so there.
Oh, absolutely. Loving my UK friends.
There's a big old gang of us coming now.
Yeah,
the numbers are mounting. You need to
we'll have the Inner Goddess Summit physical form here down under.
Oh yeah.
You are on.
I am on. I've got it already planned. So to any of our viewers, look out. The Inner Goddess Summit is being planned.
The real version will be coming to you sometime soon. I love it. Maria, thank you. Bless you for coming on this morning.
Pleasure.
Makes me laugh when you do your posh English accent.
It's my pleasure. It's been really amazing. Good for you.
Oh no, it's been lovely. I just wanted to open this up and bring the event into a bit of live energy, because all these posts are great, but this is just so valuable. So I really am grateful to both of you. I'm grateful to you for listening or watching. The Goddess Summit is on International Women's Day, 9:30 a.m. GMT. Tickets available on Eventbrite. They are £37. 66 Australian dollars.
8:30 p.m. for any of our Aussie friends, particularly those in Victoria.
8:30 p.m. Yeah, and sort of obviously mid to late morning in Europe, but we hopefully will have certainly a recording from the beautiful Brenda.
Yes.
Brenda from Hawaii. She is an Hawaiian elder. We've got Jen McCarty, who is going to be joining us talking about twin flames. Laurel Rond giving some sound meditation. Wow, I cannot wait. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you then. And for me, that's it for now. Take care, everyone. Have a great morning, good evening, Teresa.
Thank you.
Good day.
Good day.
Good day.